Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. This is your girl, Nala the Neptunian, for Nala-Ife Talks Live, unscripted and off the chain. Child, let's get into it. So, I'm just getting straight into the reading. Okay? Federal funding freeze. Is this in fact a temporary federal funding freeze, spirit and spirit guides? Let's see. Because I think that a lot of Americans who believe unconsciously or who believe that they are on the other side, meaning that they believe that they're above in the class war, they don't realize that a lot of the stocks that they have, a lot of their securities, and supposedly their investments, are backed by entitlements, are backed by federal funding. And if this goes to more of a permanent thing, then this means that there could be across the board losses of money. And we're not even into 30 days within the administration. I also want to look in this reading. I also want to look in this reading to see if there's going to be a strong change in the House and Senate over the next 24 months, because this is wild. This is a raid, if you will. This is for real. This something I can't put my finger on it. Listen, I am ignorant to a lot of the processes, but something about this feels incredibly illegal. The conversation around women and women in the military, women in the workplace that are being had on social media by pundits such as Matt Walsh and Anton Daniels, something feels wrong about this. And I don't think that we understand that this Americracy or whatever, the people who are speaking about merit based earnings have never had to or ever will have to operate in the same way that someone who wasn't born into wealth of any kind has to operate as it relates to merit based. This is going to be the start of people losing money, and it's going to be the wealthiest people first, which is not necessarily good for those who are not wealthy. But I think that we're about to see a Mad Max situation pop the fuck off in this country, because there are a lot of policies that are being implemented by people who are not specializing in the continuation of America. Okay? Allegedly. Allegedly, a lot of those Trump supporters, unbeknownst to them, are not represented nor are they protected by what it is that they voted for. And unfortunately, they're not going to see this until it's far too late. And I don't think that we can truly appreciate how much American citizens have become unconsciously dependent on socially supported programs. I think that you overestimate your independence and your access. And it has been to your own detriment. I believe that greed is the reason why the person who operated in it will starve, because they will excommunicate themselves, and they're actively doing it to this day. They've not slowed down to look at the implications, because there's a false belief that they are somehow included. See, let me say this here. There was a reason why Hispanic people, and I'm not coming on here as some sort of border czar or some sort of immigration detractor or supporter, but there was a reason why Latinos and Hispanics in large numbers went out to vote for Trump, despite what they're being faced with. Even, and it doesn't matter if you were a Trump supporter, bitch. If you are to be deported, you are to be deported. There's a larger issue that I'm seeing with these ICE raids, and that is the capture and seizing of citizens. Okay? There's a larger issue that I'm seeing, and that is the capture of citizens in such a way that one becomes lost in the shuffle, and if you cannot afford legal representation, this could mean being held up for not just a couple of days, but weeks and maybe even months. And that the communities that are going to be affected the most are extending well past Mexicans and Haitians. I am really concerned because I said this in my readings back in October. I don't give a damn where any other readers said. I was specific about these things here. And this is going to create instant poverty. Because if this extends to housing payments such as Section 8, if this extends to food stamps, if this extends to Medicare or Medicaid, if this extends to contractors, because federal funding are also contractors, and we seem to forget that YouTube is also federally funded. Facebook is federally funded. Instagram, in that case, is federally funded. Comcast is federally funded. There are so many companies that are federally funded and are receiving a form of welfare. It is unreal. So what this means is that not only does one not have access at an individual level to federal programs, but this could also mean that the companies that are able to keep their prices low, as we think, or not even low, those prices are going to skyrocket for everyone. See, the middle class and the upper middle class, they benefit from the access of those who are less fortunate, because they would have there's kind of like a benefit that they receive because prices need to be tempered. But without federal funding, naturally, in order to have employees, there's about, oh my God, we're talking about thousands of layoffs in the private sector, not just federal jobs. We're talking companies that have become federal contractors. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. If you are an entrepreneur, what you will come to find out, and you know, I'm gonna just get straight to it. I'm not gonna get into these readings right now. I'm fuck that shit. Okay, let me tell you something. If you are a motherfucking entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur right now, you need to be working with your clients and blessing your client base. You need to be working to ensure that your client base has proper employment. You need to make sure that your audience, the people who keep your business afloat, are able to have access to wealth, okay? Because the people who are speaking, they are not as educated as they think that they are. Their range and their scope isn't as complete. The individuals who are speaking are not well informed individuals, as they are easy to satisfy. So they're not doing the legwork at all to really fully understand and take stock of what's happening. They just want to win by any means necessary. So they're not concerned. And for some, that is going to cause a lot of harm to them. And it's going to be a mortal reason as to, especially depending on what city that they're in. When all of this shit falls down, these people have contributed to an environment that may just swallow them whole. So I'm just gonna be real with you. If you are a practitioner, in addition to praying for yourself, you need to pray for your client base. If you are a person who is reliant on social media, this may be another situation in which you're not aware that there may even be now cost. If this extends past this, there could be costs to content creators to access platforms if federal contracts fall through. Okay? These decisions that are being made, there is a concerted effort, but a lot of the individual is layered. A lot of the figureheads you see on social media talking and presenting rage bait are not privy to these plans. So they're going to be cut off and surprised. Okay? Because if you fuck around and find out if the Hispanic people who thought, for all intents and purposes, that they would be protected and they were for things because they saw it as, okay, I don't want the country to be overran with individuals who will make us look like we are not a great addition to the United States. And in that vein, or in this case, in that vanity, they stood by to vote for their own exclusion or at least temporary holdup. Because I'm telling you, a lot of those people who are being rated had no clue. Listen, you fuck around and you find out if that is true for them, then it's going to be true for everyone across the board. People really think that we're getting the fuck up here online and I'm just doing these readings and just saying whatever the fuck I'm saying. And irregardless to our run rate, for instance, I'm going to use Anton Daniels. Nothing that he has said has actually came to pass in terms of being a positive fucking thing. If anything, it's been a lot of talking head. But when we have warned people, hey, this is going to happen, we've hit every single time. And I think a lot of people assume because the policymakers are white and they are male, that they understand the extent of what they're doing. They work for something that is not, they work allegedly. They are working behind the orders of something that is not domestic. Okay? The alleged entity that these individuals are working for are a foreign interest that seeks to get America and Americans to obey. There is no loyalty to party or race, especially if you are not a billionaire or a significant several hundreds of millions millionaire. So what's happening? The people who are pointing and laughing will exclude themselves from support. Poor people have been poor. Some have been poor generationally. Considering homelessness and a lot of things that are going on, these people are more equipped to continue living. It's going to be those who assume that their way of life is not going to be affected. Tell me, Mr. or Miss, what happens when a significant audience of people who spend money are women, and those women are excluded from federal positions, military, and the police, and other jobs that are considered male? And those women were extreme components in the profitability of your business. What happens, Miss Lady, when no matter how good you fuck or suck, he doesn't marry you? And furthermore, if he does, but he's low energy and low performance, or worse, abusive, and no one actually cares because there's new mandates that states that he can kick your ass up and down the street and no one intervenes or helps you. There there are damages to be done in this administration if it continues to go the way it is, that even if we had an all Democratic or all Green Party Senate and Congress, it is going to take years post a Trump presidency to repair. Whew, okay. Okay. From what I'm seeing here, if you were, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I already said too much. Okay. Let's see here. Is there going to be, Spirit, a strong change of the House and Senate over the next 24 months? Will the Republicans lose the control over the House and Senate over the next 24 months? Will the Republicans lose control of the House and Senate over the next 24 months? Spirit and Spirit guides, give it to me in 3, 2, 1. 3 of Pentacles, Element of Pentacles, the Sun card, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. I'm going to say this here. There is a strong with these with this pattern, a strong and swift change. I don't know if this is, I'm going to say this, the only way that the Republicans keep the control of the Senate and House over the next 24 months is if there is a strong bipartisan advisement of the Trump presidency. We have certain fail safes in law, and you cannot just do the things that you believe you can and get away with it and it be no consequence. Where Trump may be able to temporarily avoid persecution, there may be other lawmakers that could be cited. There could also be a proven effort of treason, depending on, again, I've been speaking about this for a long time, foreign involvement. I've been speaking about this allegedly. This is all alleged. But from what I'm seeing here, the Republicans will, in fact, over the next, this is going to be a long fucking 24 months. But over the next 24 months, the Republicans will lose the House and Senate based on the conditions of the country. Okay? What's going on, TS? Considering the conditions of the country, the Republicans will lose the House and Senate. And it's going to be even supported by Republicans. Mm. Okay. Will Trump, will this ban on federal spending, will this freeze on federal spending last a month or longer? Will Trump's new freeze on federal spending last a month or longer, Spirit? And y'all can clock me on these readings. Will Trump's ban on federal spending last a month or longer, Spirit? The Hanged One, the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Bitch. This is going to last longer than a month. This freeze on federal spending is going to last. And I think that what ends up happening is that certain pockets are released. But with this Hanged Man and the Seven of Swords, I promise you that outlets that are acting like this is a good thing. Again, these men that you guys told us, don't let these people get your blood pressure up. Don't let this happen. Don't let that happen. And all of this other stuff. TS, don't start this shit today. I will block you. And remember that I do have coverage for internet bullshit. I believe that there's at least a 7-year coverage. So if I were to file for it in 4 years and go back to this day, your IP and everything else that is stored, because YouTube is a federally traded, a federal a receiver of federal funds. If it got this bad, I can have those records subpoena. Please don't come up here acting a fool. Okay? Don't come in here acting a fool. Please don't let us discover that you are a part of groups of people who are domestic terrorists, who have a history and an internet footprint that denotes that you are a part, you have a systematic process of trolling, and that at the amount of it, it could levy charges of harassment. I would suggest that you quell yourself. I'm going to go ahead and put you in timeout. Okay? I'm going to put you in timeout, but this is not the. Don't come in here with that weird ass shit. And I am going to hex you. So there's that too. Is there going to be mass evictions for federally funded housing? This is including federally funded housing. We seem to forget that even though Medicare, I believe Medicare is not touched, there are housing benefits. Is this going to create evictions in federally funded housing programs, Spirit and Spirit Guides? Yes, it is. That's a straight across a yes. I got the Eight of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Death card, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So we're about to have a mass. Okay. Before I say that, will federal spending for these efforts resume once there's an understanding of scope of how many Americans that affects as it relates to federal housing? Mind you, I don't have children. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have Section 8. I wouldn't even qualify. Okay? Let's see. That means if you got a bunch of people on the street, they coming in your shit. Let's see. Y'all, we're about to see some shit that I think that if you need to, you can go to Three Hoodoo Sisters. She did a reading and she talked about specifically it going down in history of seeing some things that happened in the month of March and in the months of April that we've never seen. And even though it was a rumor about the taxes, and I saw that, I even did a reading when I was looking at the earned income earned income tax given to those who pay into child support, taking away um, those who are the custodial parents' ability to file. Even though that was in my reading, even for me, I calmed down in my reading because my reading was like, nah, that's not what it is. I even stated that when I was live. I still felt the undercurrent, and I wasn't wrong in feeling like something else was coming that would affect those who most likely, if they're receiving child support, they're probably receiving government aid in some sort of way. And what this means is that more displaced individuals, if I hope that I'm wrong, I really hope that I'm wrong. Because what this means are that the people are displaced with their children. And because Medicare is for seniors. Medicaid, I think, and these other entitlements are for women and children and some men, or those who are on unemployment, those who experiencing a financial setback. I was just listening to Donald Trump. He said that repeat offenders should be shipped, like he's sending away immigrants, but he's saying that if you are a repeat offender criminal, that you too should be shipped away. So while he's angry that other countries have sent their people to this country, he is considering and dancing with the idea of remote or offshore penal camps. Again, refer back to the reading that I did in October. Refer back to the reading that I did in October. And the reason that I did not delete TS is that I want that IP address recorded. I don't want to remove that IP address from me being able to see it. So that's the reason why I did that, and then I want to use that for the proper consequence spiritually. Okay. Our companies who receive federal funding after 5 p.m. today is there going to be a collapse in the financial sector as a result of these federal freezes? Spirit and spirit guys, is there about to be a collapse in the financial sector as a result of these federal freezes? Spirit and spirit guys, between 3, 2, 1. The Crown of Swords, the Devil card, Ace of Swords, the Ten of Torches, and Judgment. You fuck around, you find out. There's about to be a crash in the financial sector. And let me see here. Are the people... Is this going to affect the class of people who... I want to go... Let's set it for who have a net worth of 15 million. Oh, let's say 500,000 to 15 million. Is it going to affect this sector of individuals the most? Will we see a lot of people go from upper middle class to poverty over the next 6 months, spirit and spirit guides? We got the King of Pentacles, the Six of Torches, the Strength card, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. We're about to see a lot of the individuals who sat on the internet smug. You're about to see the biggest transfer from upper middle class to poverty and barely making it over the next 6 months that you've ever seen in your life. Again, this is not... Our country has been seized, allegedly. These decisions that are allegedly being made are not with the American people in mind. Allegedly. Ooh, why did y'all do this? What? Oh my God. Y'all, oh my God. Why did you come on social media telling people who you voted for, baby? Why would you do something like that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you feel so comfortable? Because they say that charity starts at home. What you do at home, you will do abroad. Okay? Why would you do something like? Why would you? What is going on with you to where you felt that you needed to have that kind of backing? The whites fucked up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They are the biggest recipients, whether it is, we're talking about doctors, we're talking about nurses, we're talking about massive layoffs of medical professionals. Jesus Christ, we're talking about the suspension of public transportation. Do you understand the gravity, allegedly, of what this means? Oh my God. Spirit, with public transportation, is public transportation, I just want to, because yeah, they are, because we had to vote for the people who were the leadership of our public, Jesus Christ. Does this include the suspension of jobs that are in the public sector, such as bus drivers? Will bus drivers experience job losses? The Seven of Cups, the Eight of Swords, Element of Cups, okay. Will this affect the public transportation sector? Will this freeze the federal spending affect the public transportation sector? And you can forget about it if you needed to go to the library to look up independent information. Unless you are a college student and they have a library, I don't know what this means for public libraries as well. This is fucked up, bro. I rely on the public library. I rely on having access in order to do research independent of what is made available on Google. I suggest that if you're a person who looked up old news articles, you need to baby, get your hands on some physical copies of the Bible. Do not rely on text to be made available to you for free on the internet, or even access to the internet to be for free, because Google also receives government funding. They are a federal contractor. Let's see, Spirit. This is allegedly a ploy to destabilize the country. It is, and that's how it's gonna go down. Now, let me ask this question here. Let me get to this. Will public transportation, and the way y'all did Selena, that's crazy. That's wild. To have that much equity on the internet to bully that girl. And you telling me that this is not a foreign interest? You are wild. Let's see here. It gives me. Will this affect public transportation? Will this reduce public transportation? Give it to me. 3, 2, 1. Motherfucking Gemini. It does not, thank God, affect public transit. Will this cause public transportation to go up in price? Will this increase the price of public transportation? Maybe some of this stuff is local funded for certain cities or state funded. No, public transportation, that sector. Jesus Christ. Okay. Will this affect national parks and libraries? Will this affect national parks and libraries? All the things that we as Americans get to enjoy. Will this affect national parks and libraries in the sense of access? For citizens having access. The Empress, the Ten of Torches, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Torches, and the Tower. Yes, it will absolutely affect access to libraries, all the things that enrich our culture. There was no transition into these things. This was done in a way this could have been, let me ask this question. Could this, what we're going through right now, have been avoided? Could this have been avoided? Is there something, because I don't know if there's something we don't know about what's happening with America and Trump, and it's just he's a figurehead. But what Trump is doing right now, could this have been avoided? Six of Torches, the Temperance, the Six of Cups, the Death card. Oh my God. What the fuck, man? Well, this is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all wanted. So, all right. All right. See you on the other side of it, because I'm going to tell you something. Where I've been in my life, we've had to go without. I'm having to build everything up. It's not like I've been living off of these entitlements as my benchmark. It has been a struggle. But those who have been where I am are better equipped to lead themselves in these days. It's going to be people who done got fat on the hog, that's big in the chest and stomach and face, who think that they're not affected, that are going to be affected. It's going to be those who are drunk on what they believe to be acquisition of power without the acquisition of knowledge that are going to be affected. I suggest that you pray, if you are a practitioner, that not only do you pray over the prosperity and access to resources for yourself, but you do it for your constituents as well. Okay? Because now this is going to create sovereign communities that can support one another, but that doesn't mean that it extends past that municipality or state. But this is where the factions that I foresaw come in. This was avoidable, and this was something that played on the hearts and mind of naive men, and it will be to their detriment, because they're going to be hit the hardest. Okay? Y'all have a good one.